Are you a late night binger? Perhaps you eat really well all day and then bam, night comes and you're suddenly feeling wild and out of control around food. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to stop, plus 4 questions to help you stop those late night binges. I'm Lara, the food freedom psychologist, and I can help you create a healthy and happy relationship with food without guilt or stress eating. I hope you're enjoying my videos and getting so much value from them. If you are, please give them a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also hit that bell so that you know every single time I post a new video. Side note here, if you are feeling overwhelmed and out of control around food, then you can sign up to my free Food Freedom Masterclass. It looks like this and the details are below. Many of the clients that I've worked with used to binge at night, and we work hard on improving their relationship with food. And the tips that I'm sharing with you today have really helped them, so that we've seen so many incredible transformations with people completely changing their relationship with food and their body image. Before we dive in, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a late night binge? Let me know in the comments below. Late night binger, that used to be me. I was one of those people that used to eat well all day long and then crave snacks after dinner. And then I often ended up eating my body weight in what I considered to be naughty food. The thing is, the more I engaged in the late night binges, the more I tried to be really good the next day. And the more I was trying to be good, which basically meant eating as little as possible, the more I would want to binge in the evening. What I found is I was stuck in this restrict and then binge cycle. See here? It felt like this endless loop. Restrict because we're trying to be good or healthy, so we're cutting back on like calories or food groups. And then initially you feel this sense of euphoria. I always used to feel good. I felt like I was back in control, but eventually at some stage, the cravings kick in. For me, it would be in the evening after dinner. And this is the point where you cave in and you literally feel like you're eating everything in sight. And generally, it's all the food that you've tried to give up. And there I was stuck in this endless loop, not realizing that it was the restriction that was making things so much worse. So here's the answer. The one thing that you need to stop. If you want to stop your late night binges, then you need to stop feeling overly hungry and restricting your food. So first up, you need to stop overly restricting your food during the day. Overly restrict during the day, then you get to the end of the day, you're feeling tired, you're overly hungry, you're exhausted. And when you're overly hungry, it's much harder to control yourself around food. In fact, it's no surprise that we feel totally wild. We're deprived, we're hungry, and your body's craving energy and sustenance. Your body wants you to eat that food, and as the research shows, when you are overly hungry and tired, you're more likely to reach for high fat and high sugar foods. I've added a link to that research below. Yet, if you eat regularly throughout the day, you're actually less likely to binge in the evenings because you're not getting to the evening feeling totally starved. So if you're wanting to tame these nighttime binges, then it would be really important for you to start eating more regularly throughout the day, so that when evening comes, you won't feel totally deprived and food has less power over you. Now, second up, don't starve yourself at night. You might have heard, or perhaps you're actually sticking to this idea that you mustn't eat after a certain point in the evening. So some people say 6, some people say 7, some people say 8. My rule always used to be no food after 8 p.m. I had this idea that anything that I ate after this time wasn't properly digested and would immediately turn into fat in my body. That's just not true, and it's totally based on pseudoscience if you have heard that. So honestly, if you get hungry, I recommend having a snack to avoid those late night binges. And if you do have a snack, do so without guilt. It might take a little bit of planning and preparation on your part. Have some healthful snacks that are quick, easy and filling. And I definitely recommend including protein and fiber in them because that helps create a sense of fullness in your stomach. So the main thing you want to stop, if you want to stop these late night binges, is overly restricting food, and that's both during the day and into the evening. But what if you do that and you're still binging? Well, here are 4 questions to ask yourself to help. Question number 1, are your meals satisfying? Do you feel satisfied by your meals? After you eat, do you feel a sense of contentedness? It's really worth remembering that foods can be more or less satisfying depending on things like the time of year, different days, different stages, different seasons of your life. Like in summer, when it's hot, I find salads really satisfying, but I don't really find them satisfying in the winter when it's cold. On the other hand, soups and stews, I love them in the winter, but I don't particularly find them satisfying in the summer. So ask yourself, what do you find satisfying? And I encourage you to think about things like taste, texture, temperature, all the T's. And it's worth considering that one reason why you might be binging at night is because you're not feeling satisfied by the meals that you're eating during the day. So that desire to binge is literally triggered by the fact that you haven't been satisfied by your meals earlier. Second question to ask yourself is, are there any triggers? There might be some kind of trigger that causes this late night binging. It could be emotional triggers where an intense feeling triggers that desire to eat. Yes, eating when you're sad, lonely, frustrated. That might feel like a fix in the short term, but it's not a long-term solution. So if you are regularly drowning your emotions in food, then you want to really consider, what is that behavior trying to tell you? So possibly it's intense emotions that are triggering you, or it could be situational stresses. Now these are a lot more short term and they often come when your normal routine has been disrupted. So for example, you might be working away from home more than usual, or maybe you're working at home more than usual. So feelings of isolation or boredom can trigger binges. So I would really encourage you to explore whether you think there is a trigger, maybe an intense emotion or a situational stressor that's causing these binges. Question number 3 is explore whether there are any unmet needs. Sometimes we eat food and binge to fulfill an unmet need. You might devour a family-sized bar of chocolate at the end of the day because you feel tired, exhausted, frustrated. So what you want to explore here is, are there other ways to support yourself? Maybe you need more time to chill out. Maybe you end the day with a relaxing bath. Maybe you sit and read a book. Perhaps when you're tired, you need more rest. And going for a nap is the most nurturing thing you can do. You could listen to some music, do a puzzle, do some meditations, listen to an audio, or maybe your body needs something a bit more active. Maybe you need a walk around the block or some time in nature, dancing to some music, just doing some stretches. Or maybe it's just that you need to hang out with a friend. Fourth question to ask yourself is this habit or an association that you've created? So you might find that you've got yourself into a habit or an association. So I know that with a lot of the clients I've worked with, TV is an association with food in maybe more of an unconscious way. So you get home from work, you end up having a bit of a binge because you're so used to eating a family bag of chips, sitting on the sofa, watching TV. So I definitely look at whether there's an association or a habit that has formed. And if you can't imagine something like screen time without tucking into snacks, then try cutting down on your screen activity or thinking of a different way to have the snack. Maybe have the snack before you sit down to watch TV. Or maybe try and do something else while you're sitting in front of the telly, like stretches or writing some notes or like having a fidget toy. It's about looking for any associations or patterns or habits that are part of your daily routine. So if you are still binging, I really hope that these 4 questions can help. As always, I have added some resources and some links for you to explore below. And there's 2 books I would recommend here. One is The Diet-Free Revolution and one is called Just Eat It. And both are really amazing books for taking a different approach with food, which is about no restriction. And if you are ready to make peace with food, then do sign up to my free Food Freedom Masterclass. It looks like this and the details are in the links below. Check out these videos next for more health, food freedom, and mindset tips. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you know anyone who would benefit from watching this video, please do share it with your friends. Bye for now.